Ariana, welcome to the show. It's incredible. It's amazing. How are you today?
I'm doing really good. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. What better way to continue having an epic start of the week that chatting with someone as epic as you? You know what I mean?
Oh, that's so, yeah, it's a great start to the week.
There you go. There you go. And jumping straight to the interview, let's dig in here and tell me. Let's go back in time, like how this journey started, like how this whole passion started.
Mhm. Yeah, so I guess I should explain what I do. So I'm a filmmaker, I'm a director, I'm a videographer. I just love making things visually through camera work and but I grew up loving to do dance and wanting to be an actor. So and also loving music. So I always made my own little videos growing up, little music videos, little short films with my friends. For school projects, I was just known as the video girl. Like I always just made videos for everything. I had a VHS camera, I had one of those digital cameras, and then I would record things with my computer, and it was just my main hobby. And then going into high school, I sort of just lost touch with it and was sort of pulled in by the thoughts of fitting in and being cool and whatever, and also wanting to make my family happy. And not a creative career doesn't necessarily satisfy a certain half of my family. Yeah. So graduating high school, my plan was to just like do my own thing and not, I don't know, I had a good few years where I just didn't know. Similar to you, just sort of existential crisis. I just didn't know what I wanted to do at all. And I was like, what's the purpose of this? Like I was studying digital marketing and that wasn't making me happy. I was doing photography eventually, and I was like, okay, this feels like maybe more of a direction I could go down. And then I did a solo trip to Europe, as one does, as cliche as it sounds. And okay. with the extended time by myself, I was showing these girls in my hostel some of my old videos, and they're like, why don't you just do this like as a career? And I was like, this like 3-year existential crisis was so easily resolvable by just like looking within myself and my inner child, my past, all my passions from being a kid. It wasn't even like an option to not pursue it, because I was just so unhappy living life not in alignment with my passions and what I wanted to be doing. So I came back and I opened a videography business, and with the intention of gaining skills from that, and being able to transfer them into film work and gather connections and do all of that. And that's sort of where I am now. I run for work full time. I do videography, and then on the side I'm just starting to direct. And that's been about a 3-year journey for me. So I'm still at the beginning of my career. But yeah, I actually don't remember the original question. I went off on a tangent.
Oh, I love it. No. I love it. That's pretty cool. I mean, you basically sum it up. I love it. And it's awesome, the fact that you took advantage of the whole existential crisis and actually do something. Because I do think that sometimes if you don't get up from that situation, it can really bring you down and put you like in a very awful place, and make you feel like super sad. So the fact that you managed to pass that and to transform that energy into something positive, into something that actually makes you happy, and you took advantage of your knowledge here, that's pretty cool actually.
Yeah, and it didn't even feel like it, again, like it didn't even feel like an option to not do it once I knew. And it was the simplest thing. It's like, totally. I knew this within myself, and I feel like a lot of us know like we're meant to be doing something, and we just sort of put it on the back burner. We just push it away because it's like, oh, that won't make money for us, or my family's going to be disappointed in me, or whatever. but then I just feel like it eats away at us, and it just ate away at me so much that it was like, I honestly don't care like what anyone thinks of me. If you don't want to support me, you don't have to support me, but like I can't live my life unless it's in alignment with what I want to do.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we only
Yeah.
live once, right? And why not use that time to do something that we actually like, you know? Which I think that if everyone did what makes them happy, I mean, the world would be a total different place. But I get that sometimes out of the situation, or sometimes uh you are not sure of it, or sometimes you just like it, you know, you like be a lawyer, doctor, whatever, and that's perfect. um but yeah, at the end I would say that it's important to do what makes you happy, basically, you know. And
Yeah. And that is a privileged stance. Like obviously I was in a very privileged position and time in my life as
absolutely.
well. Not everyone has that opportunity. So I'm very grateful that I didn't have financial obligations at that age that I had to worry
Totally.
about, and I was able to support myself. So, yeah.
That's badass, let me just tell you that. I love it. Now tell me, like how is your approach? So let's say, right, let's say that you are that that they hired, you know, to film, you know, like to film this project. Tell me, like, what is your approach to it, like how you manage to make it happen?
Um in uh, I guess, do you mean directing? Do you mean videography? What are you thinking in a line, like music videos,
All
commercial
of it.
work,
Let's go crazy,
all of
all of
it?
it. Yeah.
I think the approach differs from project to
Absolutely.
project. Um, my heart right now is music videos, so I guess I'll speak about that. Um, for me, I just find so much inspiration in my own head. I
Okay.
just love, like, I feel uh I struggle really badly with anxiety,
Mm,
which is essentially creating stories. And I kind of think of it as a double-edged sword, because my mind is so good at creating unrealistic, crazy stories. But if I'm able to harness it and use it in a creative way through filmmaking, it's a really good advantage for me, because I
totally.
just like, my mind has no limits. So when I'm like approaching a project, I just like to be with whatever the brief is for
Mm,
a while and just like think about it. And for music videos, listen to the song for like a week, put some
okay.
ideas together. I don't know. It is very different from music video to commercial. Like these are very different approaches.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
yeah, creatively, it's just fun to merge different mediums together, like working with like dance
Mm,
and um, music and acting and lighting and composition, and just merging everything into one is
totally.
just a really, really cool thing.
Wow, that's super cool. And when, for example, like for music videos, do you like the artist will give you like an idea of what kind of video do they want to, or they will tell you like go ahead and just do it? Like how does the process work? Like walk me through it.
Yeah, so it depends on the artist. Sometimes they give you a song usually, and they will sometimes give you a brief, like, this is sort of my idea, this is what I want, this is the direction I want to go in. Sometimes they're really specific and they're like, this is what I want to do, and you
Okay.
don't have a lot of creativity. But then sometimes, the rare occasion, I get someone who's just like, who lets me do whatever I want, and those are my favorite projects. And also when I get to work with artists who truly care about
Mm,
the video and it's not necessarily, and I know video is like it's very important for promotional aspects of music, but I really enjoy working with artists who view it as an art form as well, because I am putting so much of my artistic ability into it, and if it's
totally.
not appreciated or um understood, I guess. And if it's just being used to make money, uh then it's, I don't know, it's just not the energy that I want to be working with.
Mm, okay. Okay. And like, so yeah, so you start this project, you film it, and does it usually, I mean, has it ever happened to you? Let's say that, for example, on music videos, that the artist will watch it and be like, I don't want this, let's redo it, or they will let you like, okay, it's fine, send them in, or they will tell you like, let's do like. Basically, my question here is that after the project is done, do they will ask you to redo it again, or just some scenes, or as soon as it's good to go, just send them in and that's it?
Um, I have never encountered anyone wanting to refilm things in music videos. In other areas of film, maybe. Working in commercial, I think the standards are a little higher. People have bigger budgets, they have to uphold a brand image. With music videos, I feel like budgets are just so tight that it costs a lot to film things. And if they wanted to reshoot something, I'd be happy to, but usually the budget's not there for that.
Yeah, that's
so yeah, music videos are a funny little thing, but you can usually get away with a lot more, I find, than short films or whatever, especially commercial, because it doesn't have to make sense. And that's why I love it so much. It's like I have like 3 to 4 minutes to just like make as little sense as possible and do these like super cool visuals and make people feel something in such a short period of time.
Now, for those who don't know, what type of music videos have you filmed and commercials?
So I'm just working. I love working primarily with women in all aspects of my career, whether that's like my crew or through musicians. So I work with a lot of female artists around my age, like early 20s. And then commercial, I work with small businesses to do like videography more so. And then occasionally I hire a crew if the project needs it or is big enough. But yeah, nothing super exciting yet. But those are my niches. I love working with women. I love supporting women and non-binary people. And a big goal of mine is to employ a mostly female or a non-binary film set, because it's such a male-dominated industry. And then whenever I go onto film sets, I'm usually like one of 2 women there, and I just think it would be nice to get more women into the art form, because we could use more voices.
Totally.
Yeah.
Wow, I like that vibe, and I like that vibe, and I like the fact that you that you want to make things different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That you want to kind of like try things your own, you know, like trying to find like your own stuff here, but at the same time like put people to it that sometimes it will be either mistreated or things like that, and the fact that you want to like give them a hand and to include them in this whole artistic world, which I do think that art doesn't specify anything, you know, doesn't specify gender or like things like that, right? I mean, art is art, period. And the fact that you want to include them and to put them in your team to create stuff, that's pretty badass. I love it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think it's just really important that we have like more voices, more people in decision-making positions, especially like even with like actors. And I feel like the more diversity we have in the higher ups, the more diversity you have trickle down and down to the choices in casting, and then people are just represented better and you get to see yourself in different positions. And I think Yeah, it's just really important. It's just so, specifically with gender, it's just so male dominated right now that I feel
Mm.
like women are just sort of, and even myself included, like we're just sort of, it's intimidating. For me, walking onto a film set, it's been so intimidating um, to just not, I feel if I don't know something, I'm letting not just myself down, but I'm letting all of women down. Like, because I just don't want people to think of me as less, and also portray that onto all of women. So it's like a big weight to carry, and it's really scary going into these like rooms when it's just mostly white men,
Yeah.
and they, yeah, just knowing they don't respect you the same as another white man is just a little frustrating, but
Definitely.
hoping to change it. And I also feel my last feminist rant.
No, no, no. Go ahead.
um
Go ahead. I mean, it's
I
okay.
I
The stage is
I
yours.
just thank you. I just feel there are so many issues with the film industry,
Mm.
just like with mistreatment of workers, and just like the crazy like uh time commitment and just the lack of compassion towards every member and crew and casting
Yeah.
is just, I feel like, might be related to the sort of like power imbalance between men and women in film sets. And I feel, I have like a gut feeling that if we got more women into higher up positions, maybe the ethics would change on film sets. Maybe we would be more compassionate. I understand money has to come first, but I just feel like people's safety and just well-being could be greatly improved, and hopefully I'll be able to uh, be a small spark of change within my career.
What can I say? I mean, that's an incredible goal. I love it. And I mean, it is true that, and I've been discovering it with this platform that the whole, yeah, like the whole entertainment industry needs to have like a serious talk about how to, how to embrace the situation that is happening. That yes, right now it's kind of a little bit, a little bit, but there's still a huge road ahead. And I do love the fact, as I said before, that you want to include them as well. You want to raise your hand and be like, hey, I'm here. I also have like this crew behind me, and we create amazing things. And here we are. Basically, that's pretty cool. And as I said before, I mean, I do think that everyone should express through art what they want, regardless if it is a male, female, or like, basically, you know what I mean, right? Like the fact that art has no gender, has like no color, has anything. I mean, art is art, period. And it's cool the fact that you want to little by little reach to that position, and to actually be, yeah, actually kind of a beacon to it, to people who be like, if she can do it, I can do it too, and that's awesome.
Oh, yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes.
I love it. I love it. Hashtag Team Ariana.
Thank you so
Epic.
much.
Epic. And like, what motivates you? We all have those days that we just basically want to quit. That we basically think that it's been a waste of time, that we are throwing our life to the bin. Like getting inside into these toxic thoughts are always way too easy. So my question is, what pushes you away from those thoughts and puts you back in this journey, in this track that you have that you have built for so many years now?
Mm. Yeah, it is so hard to get caught into those thoughts and thought loops. And I still, like, I'm not gonna lie and say I don't struggle with that, because I still struggle with that. But what keeps me coming back is, I heard a term once called glimmer moments, and it's, we have like those like negative moments that we're just like, oh, this like sucks. But then the opposite of that are glimmer moments where you just sort of feel like at peace and like connected, and just, I guess, flow. Like all of these words kind of describe a glimmer moment. And keeping track of those moments is really important to me. I can go a long time without having one in like career related aspects. But once I reroute myself and come back to a project that introduces me to this glimmer feeling, I'm just like, okay, this is why. It's basically like I just have to throw myself, even if I don't feel like doing something, even if my mental health is poor, I have to just like do it regardless. And then my why comes back. I'm like, wow, like this was so painful. And for what? Like I could have just been channeling these feelings through my art. And I think just making it a point to keep track of those moments and even like writing them down and just looking back on all of these things that bring you so much joy that you might not be able to remember in times of pain, and using pain to propel your art. And I just think emotions are so valuable for us and are really, really strong teachers for us in the art world, especially like acting as especially like you get all of your you get your like all of your characters from like your own personal experiences. I'm actually taking an acting class right now so I can become a better director.
Totally.
So I'm learning about how to transform your emotions into different characters, and I just think it's really interesting and underutilized. And I think, yeah, it's important that I'm rambling a little, but it's just important for us to keep going even when we don't feel like it. Yeah.
And that's how the cookie crumbles. I love it. It's pretty cool what you do, Ariana. And as I said before, the fact that you want to send like a positive message here, the fact that you want to raise your hand here, the fact that you want to make a change, but a positive change, and you actually want to give opportunities for people that maybe at some point couldn't because they were afraid to, or as you said, because they were female, it was hard for them to raise their hand and be like, what, besides acting, I can direct too, and it's really cool what you do. It's amazing, and I'm super sure that you're gonna make that change, because I do believe that when you do things by heart, but when you do things like honestly, the results come by themselves. And I'm super sure that, of course, it might take time, and of course moments in which you're gonna be questioning yourself, should I quit or not? But keep doing what you do, because as I said, it is inspiring, and I'm super sure there's people out there who rely on you, or who sees you as someone who they can get inspired, right? Who they can get the ideas of and be like, hey, she's doing it, she's making it happen. It's hard, but hey, she's still standing, and that's super cool.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you so much for saying that. I'm gonna keep doing what I do, and you keep doing what you do, because you're also inspiring a lot of people.
I'm happy that you liked it. I'm super happy you liked it. I also want to thank those who watched this episode. Thank you so much. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, follow. It helps a lot. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think of this amazing conversation. But also, go follow Ariana. Let's make her viral. Hashtag, as I said before, hashtag Team Ariana, because she's awesome. And again, thank you so much. Keep inspiring, keep creating, and I'll see you in the next one. All right. And
Yay.
that's it.
Yay. Oh, that was awesome.